I had my first son at 24 years, and after then I couldn't have another child again. And it became a thing of mockery, my son going to play with the neighbors' children, and they tell him they don't want their children to play with him as my son. And it became something that was really troubling. And then when I started digging into history, I discovered that the mom that begets my dad was blessed with the gift of fertility. And then each time I wanted to pray, I'll be like, if my family has been a channel of blessings to people, God should also bless me. Because you wouldn't really know how it feels for women that don't have children until you don't have your own. So I think God made me feel that firsthand so that I will understand the pain of the people he was going to bring to me along the line. So when it became like that, there was a time I now slept. I had a dream. In my sleep, there was this very long queue of women that came, and then I was fetching something from the pot in front of me, and when I gave it to them, they would carry baby and go. When I gave it to them, they'll carry baby and go. I woke up, I started getting inspiration on how to get this leaf to do this, and then I started doing more research on it and all of that. So I said, okay, let me put myself as the guinea pig for trial. And I did. And at that same point, my sister was married for like 3 years. She didn't have a child. So I did for myself and I did for my sister, and I said, let's try it since it did not cost us anything to do this. And surprisingly, I think after like the first menstrual cycle, I missed my second period, which is really unusual of me because I have a very steady cycle. So I told my sister, I said, it will come. The second period also got missed. It will come, it did not come. And then I now started feeling pregnancy symptoms. I tested and it was positive. But something kept telling me that this pregnancy is not for one child, because I have this side beeping, and I said, hey, which kind of pregnancy be this one where the two sides they breathe? I was complaining to my mom, so she said, that I shouldn't worry about it. I went for a scan. On getting there, I discovered I was carrying twins. So when we came back, we were celebrating that scan result. Then my sister started feeling somehow too. And then on getting to check her, she was also pregnant after about 3 years. So I really picked interest in that recipe I missed for the both of us. So we started giving to people around us that we saw that they were suffering infertility, and all of them conceived. And my mom was like, Bosa, you now have a line of business. And that is how God has been expanding the EEK brand. Started the business with 8,000 naira, and we are here. Come to EEK Fertility. Our treatments have not failed. If something is on the scale of 1 to 100 and we have 95%, we are good to go. They should come to us. Our treatments are very, very affordable, and then we have professional hands to guide them through. But first of all, go see your doctor. Let's know what is wrong with you medically so that we can go with you along that line. And I promise you, 3 to 6 months, you conceive. That is a sure banker. There are two classes of infertility. The primary infertility is the woman who has not had a child before and is actively trying to have a child. The secondary infertility is the woman who has a child, or the couple who have a child, and then they are finding it difficult having a second one. When you say someone is fertile, it's somebody that has the ability to get pregnant at every point in time when they want to have children. If anybody is trying actively to conceive for 1 year and then they've not been able to conceive, it becomes a matter of urgency. You need, first of all, to go to the hospital and see your doctor. And when you go to the hospital to see your doctor, the first thing they tell you is you have a HVS investigation done. And during that investigation, the hospital is trying to check if there is an infection. You go from there. For the women, we have HSG procedure. That's where they pass fluid through the tube to check if the tube is blocked or it's moving. And from there, we also go to check through the transvaginal scan. That helps us check if the womb is okay. Now, if you tell me to say if someone is experiencing infertility, how do they know? The first thing I tell is let them go and see their doctor. Because you tell somebody, this is how you get to know that you are suffering infertility. A lot of people will not go to see their doctor again. Some people are self-medicating for fertility based on, okay, if you have a cordial meeting with your husband and sperm flows back, you are infertile, and then they begin to take all type of treatments, and it's causing a lot of complication already. So we say for you to know you have infertility, you need to visit your doctor first of all. Like if you have men that suffer issues related to their semen production, we have treatments for them, and it's purely herbal. We have taken them to the lab, tested and trusted, safe for consumption. For women who have issues also as regarding fertility, when I mean fertility, I mean everything, because I know I'm not permitted to call some kind of things. We also have treatments that work on them, and our treatment timeline is between 3 to 6 months for whatever case it is. Untreated infections, underlying infections, some kind of drugs people are taking. For example, there are people that have underlying conditions with their health. They need to be very close to their hospitals, because some of these drugs we take for issues like people that take antiretroviral drugs, like people that take drugs for BP. Some of those drugs have effects on fertility. We also look at alcohol intake. We also look at lifestyle, the kind of food we eat, stress. So there are so many factors that can contribute to infertility in both men and women, but most importantly, underlying infections. At every point in time, people of childbearing age should watch out for infections. EEK Fertility is a brand that is going very fast, and even the acceptance we have right now is not what we expected to have, because a lot of people have ill feelings about herbal products. But considering the way I've been able to study these treatments and understand the workings of the materials we use in baking production, it makes things very easy for us to communicate with our customers. We have a lot of professionals come to us to get treatments and get solutions, and we have a lot of professionals that recommend our services to even their patients in their various places of work. So it's a very well accepted treatment against the notion of people that herbal treatments are not accepted. I've never experienced rejection so far. From our records we have, not the ones they've not told us, since the birth of the brand EEK Fertility, we've been able to have 6,000 pregnant women. You know, along the line some will miscarry, but even at that we should be able to say we have 4,500 living children. EEK Fertility helps. Everybody, including a wheelbarrow pusher, can actually afford my treatment at EEK Fertility. There are times I do promo and I sell medicine for 3,000 naira. There are times I do promo and I sell medicine for 10,000 naira. There are treatments that also cost as much as 350,000 naira. So it depends on what you are treating and what time you are coming to purchase your treatment. Yes, we do fertility counseling. We give treatments. We do follow up on our pregnant women, and then we do marriage counseling too, because a lot of marriages are suffering and even threatened because of issues related to infertility. A lot of them around the world, we've treated even doctors, but these are patient confidential informations. But I can tell you that there are a lot of people that you see on the internet today parading twins and triplets that are products of our treatments, with evidence and review.
Odanka doko poka kole Mapa TV alabo date no ya haje ka bolona ku YouTube abona labo doa owo choge ho hacho
ihotu lumeiku